This day in sports history. Well, hello there, and welcome back to This Day in Sports History, a member of the Sports History Network, where you can find more podcasts, including some new ones that have been added to the lineup recently, and more info at sportshistorynetwork.com.
And that's the end of the first half. As the teams head to the locker room, the Spartans lead the Bulldogs by a score.
You guys stink.
Geez, Coach, we're only down a couple of points.
No, I mean you guys really smell. You need to hit the showers. And here, I got every one of you new bars of soap from the Sterling Soap Company. Each bar is artisan crafted using natural ingredients and essential oils. They also have shave soaps, colognes, beard balm, and a whole lot more. Now get in there.
But Coach, we have another half to play.
I don't care. I can't stand to be around you. A few minutes later. All right, bring it in tight. You guys are still playing terrible, but you're smelling great out there. Now listen, you're going to need to stock up for the rest of the season. We got a lot of tough games left. So go to sterlingsoap.com after the game. That's STIRLING soap.com. You got that?
Yes, Coach.
Great. Sterlingsoap.com on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sterlingsoap.com.
It's February 5th, and on this day, we had Tom Brady and the Patriots pulling the ultimate Houdini Act. Sugar Ray Robinson switched up his pugilistic style, and he regretted it. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Those stories, plus a non-sports fun fact at the end about King Henry VIII that you probably weren't aware of, and I'll get started right after this. So let's start with what happened on this day back in 2017, when the New England Patriots pulled off the biggest comeback to win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 51, held that year in Houston and featuring the four-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. After a scoreless first quarter, the Falcons got their offense going, scoring touchdowns on back-to-back possessions to take a 14-0 lead. And then the Falcons' defense made an impact. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were calling the action for Fox that night.
Falcons overload the right side of the Patriots offensive line. Pass is picked. Intercepted. Robert Alford. He's gone. There are no flags. And the Falcons add to their lead. Alford with a pick six.
That was the second turnover in the first half for the Patriots, and the Falcons had taken advantage of both of them. New England would scratch for a field goal later in the quarter, but the Falcons led 21-3 at the half. In the third, the Falcons piled on more points, putting together an 85-yard drive that resulted in this play.
A tough series with 3 catches, 76 yards in the game. He's never had a 100-yard game in the NFL. Here is Coleman, end zone, touchdown.
Matty Ice was pretty cool on this night. He was an efficient 17 of 23 for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that touchdown put the Falcons up 28-3, and they were ready to put their hands on their first Super Bowl trophy in franchise history. But when the GOAT is standing on the opposite sideline, you can't celebrate too soon, even if history is on your side. And the biggest deficit ever overcome for a win in a Super Bowl prior to this was 10 points. Also, this was the 7th Super Bowl appearance for Brady. He'd been in situations similar to this, obviously not as big of a hole as this was, but still, the Patriots were not panicking. So, down 25 late in the third quarter, Brady and the Patriots went to work, chipping away at that Falcons lead. First, it was a Brady to James White touchdown pass and catch late in the third. White set a Super Bowl record in this one with 14 receptions. But Stephen Gostkowski missed the extra point, and it was 28-9. After a Gostkowski field goal made it 28-12 in the fourth, Ryan was sacked and then he fumbled, giving the ball back to New England. It was the first Ryan turnover in more than 2 months. He had not thrown a pick or lost a fumble since throwing an interception against the Kansas City Chiefs back in Week 13 of the regular season on December 5th. Poor timing for sure, and of course, the Pats took advantage of the short field, and Brady connected with Danny Amendola for the score. The Pats went for 2, they got it, and that made it an 8-point game. On the next Falcons drive, They could not come up with any points that would have come close to sealing the deal, so they had to punt it back to New England, who started their drive with 3 minutes 30 seconds to play in regulation, needing to go 91 yards for the touchdown and then also convert another 2-point conversion. And of course, that's exactly what they did. The drive was spectacular in itself, but it was highlighted by an amazing catch by Julian Edelman on a tipped ball that he secured amazingly an inch off the ground. Truly one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl or even NFL history. And I had forgotten about this one when I talked about Super Bowl 34 a few days back and the catch that Santonio Holmes had made to win it for the Steelers, and of course the David Tyree catch that he made in Super Bowl 42 when he secured that ball on a third down conversion against his helmet. Amendola's snag was simply unreal and is certainly in the realm of greatest ever, and even more importantly, it kept the drive going. With a minute on the clock, White scored his second of the game to pull the Patriots within 2. So now, they had to convert their second 2-point conversion.
This is it. The time left. Even if it is time for Atlanta. Pass. Amendola. Flag is down. Amendola's in.
And with that, the game was tied at 28 with 57 seconds left. The Patriots had erased a 25-point deficit in less than 23 minutes of game time to force the first overtime in Super Bowl history. The Patriots won the coin toss and elected to take the ball. The Falcons would never touch it again. Brady marched the Pats down the field, aided by a pass interference call on the Falcons at the 1. Running back James White scored 2 plays later for his third touchdown of the game to give Bill Belichick, Brady, and the Patriots their 5th Super Bowl trophy. And as I said earlier, the 25-point comeback easily beat the previous record of the largest deficit ever overcome in a Super Bowl. On this day in 1943, Jake LaMotta and Sugar Ray Robinson squared off for the second time. Now, these two had just fought each other 4 months before, and that initial meeting had been won by the undefeated Sugar Ray Robinson in a unanimous decision. Oddly, Robinson changed up his style in this second fight, deciding to stand toe-to-toe with LaMotta and punch it out. Robinson was okay until the 8th round when LaMotta hit him with a combo right to the body and then left to the face to send Robinson through the ropes. Sugar Ray was saved by the bell, and he was able to finish out the fight, but when this one went to the cards, LaMotta won a unanimous decision. It was the first loss for Robinson in 130 fights. He'd won 89 as an amateur, and then another 40 since turning professional. These two would fight again 21 days later, and then meet another 3 times in their careers, but this is the only one that LaMotta ever won. Despite his struggles beating Robinson, he was always known as a guy who could take a punch.
I guess God gifted me with a hard head because I really couldn't feel punches. Many years ago, nobody could hurt me. It's self-hypnosis or whatever you might call it, but I really believed nobody could hurt me.
You did it mentally?
Mentally, yeah. Psych myself, whatever you say. I did it unconsciously, instinctively, I did it, and I believed it. And I went through my whole career where nobody ever hurt me, and I fought the toughest guys that ever existed.
On this day in 1984, it's been called the luckiest carom in golf. Hale Irwin came to the final hole of the Bing Crosby at Pebble Beach, needing a birdie to tie leader Jim Nelford. He hit a horrible low hook off the tee that was heading to the Pacific Ocean. Miraculously, the ball hit a rock, and instead of getting wet or landing in the sand or going wayward, it bounced back into the fairway. He got a little bit fortunate on his next shot as well when his approach hit the flag and dropped within a couple of inches. He tapped in for his birdie, and he forced a playoff. After a pair of pars on the first playoff hole, they went to a second. Once again, Irwin hit another poor tee shot. He skied one that was well short of Nelford's tee ball, and it landed in a bunker. Pulling from his bag of magic once again, Irwin ripped a 2-iron 214 yards out of the sand to within a few feet. He rolled that in for a birdie and bested Nelford's par for the win. And in 1960, Bill Russell bested his own record of 49 rebounds in a game by grabbing 51 boards against the Syracuse Nationals in a 124-100 win. It was the first time in NBA history a player had ever pulled down more than 50 rebounds in a game. And time now for today's That's Got Nothing to Do with Sports fun fact. If you have ever strolled through a park in London, more than likely Henry VIII had something to do with it. You see, Henry bought up thousands of acres of green space during his reign as King of England. St. James, Hyde Park, Regents, and Green Parks all owe their existence as pastoral spots to Henry. But before you go handing out some conservationist medal to the guy, it was more of a selfish thing. You see, only he and his chosen few could hunt and gallop because he bought them solely for himself. That's all I've got for you today. Come on back tomorrow for another edition of This Day in Sports History. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.